Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Tori Talks TV. This is our review of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel Season 2, Episodes 9 and 10. The last two! What are we gonna do without The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
Cry.
Yeah.
Oh, Mitch.
Or just like feel like there's some kind of a void in our lives.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's start with Episode 9. It is entitled, Vote for Kennedy, Vote for Kennedy. Okay, I have to start off by saying, okay, we finally get to see the kids a little bit more.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
I did.
Okay, what's the little girl's name? Right, exactly, it's Esther.
Esther! I was going to say Ethel.
No! Close enough.
Close,
but no,
pretty
because
close.
remember we were talking about how, like, the kids are a little bit neglected. Especially by their mother.
Yes.
And then Ethan.
Ethan.
So that was kind of cool to finally see the children and, you know, her being a little motherly. Anyway, but I will say that there was one scene when she was talking about Ethan and she said something about he's a little jerk. I like that kind of stuff. That was really funny.
Yes,
that made me laugh.
It's real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So one of the fast-paced scenes, one of the more fast-paced scenes is when Susie is at the diner with Midge, and then she's like making these really like quick deals with people to try to like get her a new gig, right?
Yes.
And the new gig
It's the telethon.
is a big deal
for arthritis.
and rheumatism.
Rheumatism.
That's what they used to call it.
Yes.
And this is a televised
On
gig.
TV.
Yeah.
National
so this is
TV.
a really big deal. So
Mhm.
I like that they're kind of like ending the series with like this is like her biggest gig.
Yes.
Of all. So that was really exciting. So Midge is like super excited to go tell her parents and they're
Yes.
of course like aloof, like
They're like, oh.
okay.
Okay.
And you know, she
Yeah,
wants
she
them to be excited.
She wants them to see her perform.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be her new life.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like,
They're just too cool for school, I
yeah.
guess.
Mhm.
Whatever. They're still not really understanding that Midge is a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of the parents, Abe has kind of like flew off the handle. He's a little crazy right now.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he's like yelling at his students in the classroom. Do you
Yes.
remember that?
Mhm.
He's like insulting the few students that have actually stuck around.
Yes. In
to-
the lecture. During the lecture. Yeah.
What's that about?
He's losing it.
Why is that? Is it because his kids have like?
I think his world is shattering.
Yeah.
It's been shattering since the beginning of the season. When Rose went
that's
off to
true.
Paris and he brought her back. And then he thought he knew
Oh.
his kids, but now he realized he doesn't know his
they're
kids.
both living secret lives.
Yes.
That
So-
Noah's got like the CIA job. Midge is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
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 He's so funny the way
He's
he
a-
handles it. Tony
but-
Shalhoub.
Comedy obviously runs in their family because
Oh.
every single one, mom, dad, brother, they're
Mhm.
all hilarious.
Yeah, they really are.
They really are.
They don't even know they are.
They don't know they are.
So, yeah. So, unfortunately, his son is the one that has to meet him at a bar and tell him, by the way, your little project has been canceled.
Yes.
And, you know, Abe takes it in true Abe fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Was a little frantic about it. But, yeah. But anyway, nonetheless, makes for a really funny scene.
It does. That's where I didn't realize that Noah was so funny too.
Yes!
He was super funny. And then when Abe was like, oh, who told you all this? And it was like, oh, he's like, oh, somebody told me when I had my gun in his mouth. And I was
And he's like, really?
and he's like, no, Dad, I don't kill
No,
people.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Because Abe totally thinks Noah kills people.
Because Abe's so uptight, and he doesn't know what. Yeah.
And didn't Noah also explain to Abe like what tits up means?
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, because tits up is what Susie and Midge say to each other when they're like, when she's about to go on stage.
Get
she's like,
ready.
tits up.
Yeah.
And then Noah's like, well, tits up is what happens when you're like testing on like rats and they like die in the lab.
If
And they're
they're
like, "Tits
upside
up."
down.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Thanks a lot, Noah. You kind of like ruined that whole imagery for me.
I know. I was like, that's the girls' stuff. That's their saying.
Thanks
But
a lot.
it's kind of cool that they
It was
referenced
hilarious.
It to
Though.
yeah.
I
so
was like, okay, I get it.
it made for a
they're
funny
all
scene.
super funny. Midge is the only one who's gonna make a living on it.
Right, because she's amazing.
She's so funny.
And she's charming.
Mm-hmm.
And she's fast.
Yes.
Okay, quick-witted.
Quick-witted.
So, on the day of this telethon, of
Mhm.
course, you know, so basically before this had all happened, you know, they're trying to figure out the time slot.
Mhm.
And it's pushed to 9:50, I believe, 2150.
Military time.
Yeah, so they're trying to
Susie's
figure out.
Can't you just use normal people time?
Yeah,
It's
no,
very confusing to them.
I know, and that guy did not say it right. He said something about add 12. It's
no,
not add
it's
12.
not.
It's subtract 12.
Right.
It would be 9, right? So anyway, it's okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
the
right.
parts that I laughed the most at was when Susie kept walking into the control room with all like the producers and they're like, get out of here! And
she's like, somebody told her.
She's not even fazed by it, though.
No.
She's like, they're screaming at her to get out. And she's like, anyway.
Yeah.
Like, she assumes they're all friends, right?
Yes.
So anyway, while they're there at the telethon, guess who else is there?
Oh,
A little friendly face we
I
haven't
was hoping
seen in a
we
while.
would never see her again.
Of course, she resurfaces.
Yes.
It's Sophie Lennon, played by the great Jane Lynch.
Oh my gosh.
So she,
She's
of course, is the comedian who
Mhm.
has like kind of like, she's not really like herself at all. Like her character.
Well, she's really like skinny and
In
lives in
real-
this like real bougie house, but
Oh,
the character that she plays is like wearing
crude.
a fat suit.
Yes.
She's from like
kind of down and dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
Rougher parts.
and then it reminded me that the reason Susie was in trouble was because of like Midge calling out Sophie Lennon in her show and telling everyone that she wore a fat suit because no one knew that she wore a fat suit.
Exactly.
And that's why the thugs were set on her.
Yes.
Mary Drake.
Which she encounters the thug. One of the thugs was there, but what's so funny is the thugs were from where Susie's from. So they're like, cool.
Yeah.
The Rockaway?
Rockaway.
Rockaway.
Yes.
Yeah. So she sees the thug, and the thug's like, by the way, Susie says hi. And that's not a friendly hello. We know that.
No.
That's more like, hey, I know you're here. I know what that's about.
So then Sophie like sabotages her.
She sabotages her.
They start pushing her like further and further and further back.
They put her in the telethon, one of the seats that answers the phone, but she's not on camera.
Well, off camera. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So Sophie is definitely messing with her.
And in the 11:55 slot, like 5 minutes to the end of the telethon.
To the end of the telethon.
Mhm.
But our girl, Midge, at 11:55, goes on and she steals the whole show.
She slays it, people.
Oh, she's so funny.
She slays it.
I'd say that's
so good.
That's one of the better comedy routines that she's
Oh my
done.
gosh, one of the best.
The whole
and
season.
the whole improv thing where she goes and answers the phones because the phones are already off the hook. Like normally at this time at night of the telethon, people are like asleep, not calling in anymore. More calls than ever. And she's just like answering the calls. It was hilarious.
Even the studio audience, like it's like people have already left.
They like jump over and start answering the calls.
Yes, exactly. So
the control booth people.
Oh, they loved it.
Who were so annoyed with Susie were like, wait a minute, this girl's a natural.
She's actually doing really well. Yeah, so, I mean, I wasn't sure what they were going to do. I was like, are they going to have her flop on TV? Or are they going to actually have her be a success?
Was so good. When she was just like, Kennedy, vote for Kennedy.
Oh,
which
that
is
was
the
title.
I was like, what was this title about? And they were like, oh my God, is she being political? You're not supposed to be political. And I thought they were going to cut her off.
I thought so
I was
too.
so worried.
No.
But they didn't because she was so hilarious.
They let her continue and she did an amazing job.
My favorite scene of the whole episode, though, was when her parents see her on TV. But then also Abe looks through the window across the way to another apartment's window and they see them watching their daughter on TV. Oh, I just got goosebumps.
That was so cool. He's like, wow, my daughter is kind of a big deal.
And then Rose comes and she's like, wow, so this is really happening.
This is happening.
Right?
I know.
They're like, I was just like, oh my God, they know she's going to be a star.
Are they maybe getting on board with them
They
a
are
little bit
like,
more?
oh crap.
Like,
I guess
finally.
This is,
yeah.
I think
that was exciting. I was so happy for Midge and Susie.
Yeah.
It was a great episode. And then another thing we have to mention because, you know, Joel.
Oh, Joel.
Our favorite person of all.
Yeah.
Anyway, he is in this episode as well.
Yes.
So basically, his dad comes to him and he's like, hey, I'm going to pay you to quit, basically. Like, I'm firing you. Like, you need to go. You need to do something better.
It was a nice moment.
It was
I was
a nice
like,
gesture.
I don't like you or your family. I never have. I don't know if I'm going to like you that much more.
Yeah.
But I did like that Moish.
Yes.
Was like, Joel, thanks a lot, but you need to live your dreams. And here's the $60,000 that I've been taking since your bar mitzvah and all that stuff.
Like, I owe you.
Here you go. Here's your $60,000 back. Go pursue your
Go do
dreams.
whatever you want to do. Get out of here. You're
All
better
right,
than this.
Maisel family.
It was kind of noble.
You're possibly good for more than your name.
Yeah, I was okay with, you know, his parents. Yeah. I don't know why Joel is still...
Mom.
Oh, his mom.
His mom's hilarious.
Oh, she's hilarious.
Yes.
So...
All right.
That is where episode 9 leaves off.
Yes.
So then we're going to go to episode 10. Oh my gosh!
The
final episode of season 2. Here we go. All right. So this episode is entitled All Alone.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
That's kind of how I felt too.
Mm-hmm,
I got a little sad on this one. And this episode, or no, the whole show does not make you sad. It's very uplifting. It's very fast. It's very go, go, go. But this last one... a little bit of a tearjerker, and I'm not even much of a crier, but yeah. Okay, so basically, we need to talk about Benjamin. Everybody remember Benjamin?
Oh,
yeah, that's
Dr. Hottie McBenjamin.
Oh, Dr. Hottie McBenjamin is Midge's boyfriend. So he goes over to the Weitzman house and talks to Abe, and he's like trying to like tell him this is how much I make. So basically, he's asking for Abe's approval to marry Midge, which I think was great. Cool. Right. We find out that apparently Joel, whatever, he didn't do that. He didn't get the approval. Yeah. Broke tradition of the whole like Jewish family.
That whole like flashback to when Joel proposed, it was all very romantic.
Okay, you guys. So the first thing you see in this episode, remember, is when it shows Joel at the diner with Mitch, and he's like got this whole setup that it's one of the most romantic proposals ever, and I'm not like a sucker for that stuff, but it was pretty good.
Because it was cool.
It was cool, and it was slick, and he's like stands in the middle of the street, remember, and he's like, I'm not going to get out of the street. I'll get hit by a car. You have to say yes. And it was kind of romantic, and I kind of was on Joel's side. I said it. Yes. I was on Joel's side at that moment.
I know.
So,
what about blonde Midge, though?
Oh, I think she's a beautiful blonde.
I know. Yeah, she's pretty hot like
she
that.
She looks good. Yeah. I was impressed with that. So, Benjamin is over there trying to, like, be like, hey, can I marry your daughter? But, like, Abe's, of course, making it, like, super hard for him. Yeah. Because, you know, that's her father. I get it.
Well, he's kind of been burned before. Oh. Yeah, because he was just like, you know, Joel already, like, screwed us over, so I need to have documentation.
Like, you better be good.
That you're worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, you know, unfortunately, it was all for naught because Shy Baldwin, who, by the way, is this entertainer that she met at the telethon. Shy Baldwin is, you know, I think of him like a Richie Valens or you know, one of like the old 50s like suave entertainers. So she met him at the telethon. Yes. And it's like, my mom's a big fan of yours. Anyway, he saw her act, loved it, asks her to go on tour with him. Yep. And
it like for like
the opening act.
Like for 6 months?
Yes, 6 months.
For a long time.
As they toured the US and Europe.
Yeah.
And so Midge is like immediately so excited about it. Like, she's like, I gotta get a new wardrobe, and she's so cute. But that's also the time that Abe decides to tell her, like, hey, I'm gonna give Benjamin my blessing. And the look on Midge's face is like,
she's like, wait, what?
Wait a minute.
Oh, Ben.
Oh, I forgot about Ben.
Oh, yeah.
And it almost makes you think, like, wait, is this marriage gonna happen? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, she's gotta go on. Okay, it's back to what you said, Dr. S, that you can't have it all.
Well, the whole title, All Alone. And then, so Midge has this whole interaction with Lenny Bruce.
Oh my gosh, she goes to see his comedy show. Lenny Bruce, good friend.
He's been arrested all over the country. Pretty much no bookers will give him a chance anywhere.
A little bit scandalous, yeah.
So he gets a spot on, I forgot the show, but a famous show, TV, national TV.
Yes.
And he's kind of nervous about it because it's maybe his chance to make a comeback, and he's like, please come with me. So she waits on silence, and he sings this song called All Alone.
Okay, you guys.
And it's like, okay, it's all
one of the most emotional parts of the whole show, both seasons.
It was not even a very like Lenny Bruce type of thing.
No, because he's very funny and like and like kind of like brash, but he was very like raw and vulnerable.
And it was kind of like to be great at anything in the artistic world, you're gonna wind up alone. Kind of a lesson that we learned from the author, artist last episodes.
Exactly. So it's all kind of coming together. So, you know, Midge is obviously there for moral support, being the friend of Lenny Bruce that she is. And so she's listening to his act, and he's talking about how his wife left him and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, wait a minute. Yeah. You can see it in her face is just like lit up, and then it drops. Crap. And she's like, wait, is that where my life is leading? So. But
it also ties back to like Rose in the beginning of the season when she goes off to Paris, and she's happiest and most herself when she's all alone.
Interesting, Dr. S.
And then Abe is about to give up his career at Columbia. Yep. Bell Labs is over.
Yep.
And who's that lawyer that he's meeting with?
Oh,
I don't know. Is the lawyer a divorce lawyer, family lawyer?
Oh, I didn't even go with divorce.
Like, I don't know, because when he tells Rose that he's going to give up tenure, she's just like, well, Columbia owns our apartment.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't know what type of lawyer this is.
You know what I was thinking? Because remember how when Midge was in D.C., she said something about how her dad works for I thought she said Bell Labs, like, but remember, it's supposed to be secret.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of, like, says too much, even though Ava does approach Midge and says, hey, what did you say? She's like, I didn't say anything. So I thought maybe they were going to seek legal action against Midge, and he's like, well, we're going to lawyer up, because of course he's going to defend his daughter. So that's where my mind went.
I hope so.
I don't know, but he did meet with a lawyer, so something's brewing.
I know.
Which we have to
but he wants to, like, give up everything, like the career at the university and the whole Bell Labs thing, because he used to be an activist, and he's not happy with who he's become, and he wants to go back to who he was.
Exactly.
So in order to be truly who you are and express yourself, you might wind up alone.
And this episode seems to be about like, be true to yourself. Even Moish, Joel's dad's like, I'm giving you $60,000 to go be yourself. Joel, he goes to, like, he's like hitting baseballs with his friend Archie, and he's like, I want to open up a club. Like, this is
then
all
I'm
about...
like, is he gonna open a club and then Midge is gonna wind up?
Be the I know. How will we ever know? But we have to talk about this final scene.
Yes. Oh,
God. Okay, so this is after Midge had just seen her good friend Lenny Bruce, and he's talking about being all alone. Very raw. So we know it's the last, like, 2 minutes of the show. I'm like, what's gonna happen? And I was like on the edge of my seat. So you see Joel working away. He's still there at his family's business because, you know, that's how he is. He hasn't figured out a plan yet. So he's sitting there and he's working. And all of a sudden the camera pans over and there's Midge standing at his office door. And I can't believe this happened.
Were you so mad?
A little bit.
Yeah. So
she goes to Joel and she's like, everything's different now. I'm going on tour and I'm going to be all alone because of this. And I just really wanted to be with someone who loves me. And the last scene is Joel and Midge, boom, kissing aggressively, might I add. Probably something else happened. Maybe a little bit of whoopee action is my guess. So first of all, can we talk about this, Dr. S? So she just cheated on Benjamin with her ex-husband.
Dr. Benjamin.
Dr. Hattie McHatterson.
She didn't do anything wrong.
No, but she wanted to be with Joel, who she says, I just want to be with someone who loves me. Now, you know, that kind of made me sad that she feels like that, like Benjamin doesn't love her the same way that Joel did.
The artists kind of sabotage their relationships, though.
Nicely said.
That's what they do.
Yeah. No, I will say, not being the biggest fan of Joel.
Yeah.
Why was I okay with it?
Because they got you. They got you.
They got to me.
They got me 80%.
Amy Sherman Palladino. Dang it.
We suspected.
Remember, we said it.
I was like, I know what you're trying to do.
You want us to like Joel. You got me to like him a little bit. Okay, I feel like Joel's like her, like, safety net.
Yes,
okay?
Yeah.
So she fell back on him, and I don't know why. I have really liked the rapport, the relationship that they have formed status post separation.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? So I'm okay with her going back to him being like, I need you right now. It was like friendly with benefits, obviously.
And she's going to be alone. She's accepted it. So that's why she's with him.
She's very realistic about it.
Yeah.
So, Dr. S, that is where we end. Season 2 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. What do you think's gonna happen?
Wait a minute, we forgot to talk about Sophie Lennon asking Susie to be her manager.
Okay, you know what? I think I blocked it out.
That is very crucial because at the telethon, Susie went up to Sophie and she was like, "Look, lady, you can't be blocking my talent like that.
Like, threatens her.
She's my client. I am gonna stand up for her." And this was like, Mitch was mad. Mitch was Mitch was, tell me.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
Mitch was like, don't do that. Like, we were at a good place. We could have moved forward.
We got in a good place with her.
Yes.
No, but she threatens her. She's like, you don't do that.
Don't do that. And
don't mess with my client.
They got in a rift, though. Mitch, remember Mitch was
in
mad
the dressing
Susie.
room. Yes.
Yeah.
So Susie invites her over.
Sophie invites her over.
So Sophie invites Susie over to her house for a meeting.
And Susie's kind of scared. She's like, oh, crap. What does she want?
They're going to rough me up again? No. Sophie Lennon asked Susie
to be her manager.
What?
Because she's never had a manager who let her be her.
Plot twist.
Like, her old people made
Harry Drake
made her wear that fat suit.
Yes.
She wanted to be a serious actor. She went to Yale Drama School.
Can you believe that, though?
Oh my god.
I did not see that coming.
No.
She seemed a little like, kind of surprised by the fact that Susie was like all up in her face. And it's interesting that she like kind of was like, hey, I like that. Yeah. You defend and advocate for your
client. Yeah,
for your talent.
Your
yeah.
one and only client.
So she asks her to be the manager, but Susie doesn't really tell Midge that.
No. Oh, she never told
Nope,
her.
never
But
told
what
her.
about when Susie walks out of Sophie's apartment with the fur coat?
Again!
And her
The
butler's
butler-
like, you can keep it. She's already worn it twice.
She's so bougie. My
She's
goodness.
So
Gracious. Yeah.
So that's a totally like what's gonna
So what's
happen
gonna
there
happen?
too. Because Susie's going on tour, like she's packing, like
Yeah.
she's gonna go. But how can she go on tour? She might also
She represents her.
Oh, Susie's gonna be rich.
My
too.
prediction is Susie will not represent Sophie because
she loves Mitch.
I think she is in love with Midge.
Oh, maybe.
We never talk about Susie's sexuality. She's a little on the masculine side. She's a woman, obviously. But I think she might have some kind of a fondness for Midge.
Maybe.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
It's possible.
I don't think she's going to betray Midge. I think
No.
next season is going to be full-blown Midge. I think they just want us to
I
think
can't
like,
wait to see them on tour.
oh my gosh, they're going to have so much
it's
fun.
gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
I want to go on tour with them.
But who's she going to end up with? Is Midge going to be with Benjamin? Or
Neither
Joel?
one of them. She's gonna be all alone. She's gonna be all alone.
Like the last episode
and the
says.
greatest comic in the world.
It's all about Midge, guys.
Mhm.
It's all about Midge.
Yeah.
So, how long are they going to make us wait? I don't know.
I say a year.
Tops.
Yeah.
My hope. It's
Yes.
9 months to 12 months.
There's no
9 months
special
straight.
effects. We can
Yeah.
get this done quick. Amazon.
Exactly. Can you just pick up the pace? Because this is a hit, and they're nominated for many awards.
Yay.
Right? Well, we hope you enjoyed our review of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We went all the way through every episode of Season 2. We cannot wait for Season 3, whenever that may be. Oh, stay tuned for that. And thank you for watching.
Mazel tov.
Maisel tov,
Mazel tov.
everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, it's a good day. First thing.
Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day